It is the last show before the Ryder Cup 2025 starts. All brought to you by Chevy. We got drama. We got Brandel Chambly with some out-of-pocket comments. We get into money, players taking money, not taking money. Speaking of money, we have an $80,000 bet to play. Should we bet it on Team USA? We talk about all of it. Statistics, pairings, what do we want? And it's all brought to you by Chevy, which is athletic, bold, and commanding. The Equinox EV helps you show up in style. We love the Equinox EV. We love Chevy providing all of this for everybody.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. Like you said, we go through the pairings. We go through all the stuff going on with Bryson. There's just always a lot going on with him, so there's always a lot to discuss. Yeah, it's an American weekend. It's an American podcast. Chevy's a great American company.
Yeah, you guys are on Long Island. You guys got your Chevy here, and that's how you're getting from hotels to Airbnbs to the golf course. It's great. Every time we are together, that's what we drive. Together, we do drive that. Yep. That's their tag.
Together,
right?
Let's drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, together.
That's what I'm saying.
We're together right now.
Together, let's drive.
Just a great week, and I can't wait. We're going to BORRELLI's later on in this night, and we have some special guests and the whole deal. It's just tonight's like the kickoff for us, so can't wait.
Leave the driving to Equinox EV. Make sure you show up to the course energized with available Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology. The Equinox EV has a massive 17-inch diagonal center screen. It's the largest of any EV in its class. When it comes to EVs, Equinox EV is the smartest choice you can make.
Paul Azinger was controversial,
Azinger.
but he was more of like
He was more like aloof on the
he
coverage.
was aloof is the perfect
That
word.
ball's going to stop
like,
rolling
that
here,
ball's
so he's going to be putting
that
for birdie.
is one of the
US
funniest
Open,
clips.
just the best clip in history.
That ball's going to stop rolling, and then as we all watched reality go against what he was saying, he said it's going to stop any second.
Pretty
now.
sure that was his last tournament. I think they yanked him off the air and they put Kevin Kisner in there. Like,
But
Jesus.
I don't think there was
And
any.
right here, unfortunately, that ball is going to stop rolling because
just didn't quite get it to the ridge.
Yeah,
That's
just didn't
gonna
quite
stop
get to the
rolling
ridge. That ball is going to stop rolling, and then just kept getting closer and closer. You might have to put that clip in.
It might still be rolling,
Yeah.
that ball. Four play presented by Barstool Sports. Ryder Cup week continues. We are out here on Long Island. Beef and I were at Bethpage Black today. We were out there scoping it out. We checked out the 18th hole, 17th hole a little bit. There are a bunch of celebrities out there, but we got a lot to talk about. There's been some dramas already in terms of some comments by Mr. Chambly, Bryson firing back. A lot of questions about the stipend, the $500,000 that the U.S. players are getting paid, that the European players are not getting paid. So there's a lot to talk about. But, gents, we're 2 days out as we're recording this. How are we feeling in general?
I feel pretty good. It's good to finally be out here. I have yet to go to the course, but I took the train to the Farmingdale stop, which is the official Ryder Cup stop. And it's, people are on the train. People are excited. You can feel it. Even not being at the golf course, the Ryder Cup has made its way to Long Island, which
They've
is
got
very
some
cool.
setup there too, right? At the train, like they're selling merchandise there out of like these huge merchandise vans. and
Oh, I
stuff.
haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's like overflow because so many people are going to the Ryder Cup. They're selling merch at the Farmingdale stop and I think at the Jones Beach Amphitheater. for
That's
where
a good
people-
idea.
Yeah.
Boys should have been there selling merch. That's a miss by us.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should have been slinging.
Shoulda.
Could have had a little sling sesh.
Yep.
We could have undercut them too. Classic business. Whatever they're selling for, we could have sold their hats $5
yeah.
less.
That's right.
So sold 1 million of them.
How was it out there today, Beef?
It was awesome. The build out is just incredible. It makes it really easy. Like we took Ubers to get in there, and we had maybe a 700-yard walk from where we were at to the merch tent to the media center. Maybe it's a quarter mile to like the first tee box, so it was really easy to get around.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
How do you pronounce the train? LIRR? You just say
Yeah.
LIRR?
LIRR, Long Island Railroad.
The LIRR had the most gate space for the entrance of anything else by far. It was like
Yeah.
you could take a bus in from the parking lot shuttle, you could take a ride share line, and then the LIRR gate space was like 5x the other one.
Wow.
Well, that's the thing. At that stop, you get herded. If you're going to the Ryder Cup, which most people are, you get herded to the buses, and I think the buses are free going to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to talk out of school, but I'm pretty
think that's
sure
right.
that's what it was.
We talked to people that are like in the logistics side of building out the Ryder Cup when we went out to go play at Bethpage, and they were saying the train was by far the best way to get in.
Yeah, they were telling everybody that. So, yeah, it was pretty efficient. Again, today's Wednesday. We were out there. They got the opening ceremonies are occurring shortly after we record this podcast. They're not doing pairings until Thursday, so we didn't think it was right necessarily to have to wait because, the big talk last time was Luke Donald gave a speech in, like, perfect Italian. That was
Right.
the big thing.
That was.
I don't know that we're going to get a ton of that this year, and I think, I'm sure Keegan will have something emotional. He already going pretty viral for the first tee and the New York Fire Department and the national anthem and all that went that really got everybody going from Monday morning. I think it was Monday morning at 7 a.m. He had the whole Team USA out there. Incredible moment. Insanely powerful. Keegan being a New England guy. And then that whole story that it was all over the internet and all over Golf Central and live from coverage of Keegan and I believe his sister like raising a bunch of money locally, which was like $700 at the time for them when 9/11 happened, and then driving down and donating it to one of the firehouses. So just all of that connection in New York and how powerful all that is kind of coming to light early in the week has been pretty damn powerful.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, you're going to see a lot of these stories, I think, and that's what makes New York great is that we have had a lot of things that have happened here, but also the way that everyone rallies around each other. It's a very close-knit community. New York is very in your face, but also like in times of adversity, it's like the best place to be because it really is like everyone kind of rallies around it, and Keegan's a great example of it. I mean, Keegan is so Northeast. It's unbelievable. I know he wasn't born in New York, but like he just bleeds this area of the country. Like you could feel it off of him.
He looks Northeastern.
Yeah.
Just like a Northeastern guy.
Just his energy. His energy is very passionate, and he wears everything on his sleeve, and he's just right in your face, and you can just feel the emotion is very much there. I feel like us, like, you know, everyone, people that I've grown up with, myself included, where it's like you could just see exactly how we're feeling based off of, you know, just looking at us for 2 seconds, and Keegan's like that.
Yeah, he is.
Super proud people one from New York.
Yeah.
Like very, very passionate about their sports, about their state, about their beaches. And it's going to be nice that they can like show this off, not only here again, the Ryder Cup, biggest stage, but also again in the future when they have PGA Championship down the road.
Yeah.
KPMG Women's PGA Championship as well.
For sure.
So
it's been, so I spent the whole flight out from Phoenix to JFK yesterday watching all the press conferences from the Team USA guys because they're all like 10 to 14 minutes long, basically just like podcasts is what they are.
Yeah.
Of like the guy giving answers for 14 minutes straight. So I was watching all of them, and, you know, you learn, too, that all the folks sitting in those seats, which we've sat, and we've never really asked questions before, we've sat in those seats, right? And it's a little bit weird where it's like, well, the way that we do interviews with folks is like conversational, and you kind of speak, you tell a bit of a story, you tell something that's on your mind, and you lead to a question. Now, occasionally we fire questions at people, but usually it's conversational. Press conferences are literally so just press conference-y, which makes sense, but they just, question. And you learn that people ask just the same question to all of the players when I'm sitting there watching the press conferences over and over again.
Right.
And one of the biggest questions that was asked by the same person every single time was, you know, do you think the captain can truly make a difference in the Ryder Cup? And everyone's answer was basically yes. And then they would go on, for the most part, talk about Keegan and all the fire. And I couldn't help but just think that, like, there's another end to the answer to that question that is like, a bad captain has a bad impact on the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
If a good captain can have a good impact. And it made me feel for Zach Johnson a little bit, where I just, it was like, if you're sitting there going, right, you're asking guys, almost all of them were in Rome 2 years ago and like didn't go well. And I had forgotten how bad Rome went, especially at the beginning. We ended up losing by 5, which has been kind of the average loss over the last 4 or 5 Ryder Cups except for 2012 was like the most recent one. But it was like, we lost 4-0 in the morning. Then in the afternoon session on day 1, we lost by a point, so we're down 5. No, we lost by 2, so we're down like 6. Then by the next day, we were down by like 7. And it was like 9.5 to 2.5, and you're just like, oh my God, this isn't even that close. And bringing all that full circle is I truly felt bad for Zach Johnson when they're answering these questions, being like, yes, and they didn't say this part out loud, but they're like saying, yes, me as a person that was on the team 2 years ago, having a great captain this year is really making a difference. Is kind of what they were all saying.
You guys are living in the past.
And it was. It made
You gotta live in the present. Keegan Bradley, I do think. So the question would be, if Team USA loses, which I don't want them to, and I don't think that they will, you don't think there will be as much revisionist history on like Keegan was a good captain, we just didn't play well enough.
It's interesting because I'm trying to recall when Jim Furyk was the captain in Paris when we got killed there too.
Yeah.
And, you know, he picked a couple of his captain's picks were like Phil Mickelson, and then Phil was like awful. He played like one session before singles and got smoked. and he was hitting it all over the place, and it's like the tightest course in history with the longest rough. That's how they did it on purpose. And I remember a lot of it afterwards. The fallout became a lot about Patrick Reed and his wife calling the New York Times.
That's
Remember
right.
all that stuff?
Yes.
And I don't feel like that stuff fell on Jim Furyk as much. People kind of viewed it as like, oh yeah, Jim Furyk was great. It's just hard to win on the road. You know, like it feels to me, I know everything's hotter in the moment, and we probably said some shit about Jim Furyk in the moment, but looking back on it now from, 7 years later, I don't feel like everybody viewed it as like, oh yeah, Jim Furyk, very solid captain. We just got beat on the road. What are you going to do? Whereas like, I think Nick Faldo was the captain in maybe 2008 when the U.S. dominated at Valhalla. And I think he got shit on in Europe as being like a pretty terrible captain.
Yeah, I don't think Keegan, even if Team USA doesn't come out and like win the first session, I think he'll handle it in the right way. Zach really didn't handle the interview after the first session very well, and that sort of took over everything. Keegan, he's good in front of a mic. He like knows what to say. He's like, I'll just go rally my troops, like blah blah blah.
Dude,
that is
such
kind
a
of
good
where it
point.
came from.
I had forgotten that Zach Johnson, after that first session, we lost 4-0, and it was like some blowouts. And his presser or his interview, standing on the green or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I think we're in a pretty good spot." Really,
so bad.
It's just like, no, this is you're supposed to be panicking.
I think bringing this to the present, I do think Keegan has done everything seemingly the right way. Now, as we know, whether you win, whether you lose, really ends up controlling how people talk about you. But as of right now, it seems like Keegan has done all of the right things to prepare this team for the Ryder Cup.
Well, and when you're losing too, it's very easy to point fingers and be like, well, it's clearly that instance there, or was that interview there, or was that piece of knowledge that they had, or so-and-so said this in the tabloids that another team rallies around, where you don't get that when you're on the winning side as much.
Of course.
Right, we had Hackgate, we had all these other things going on, but if you're commanding your team to a winning side, it seems like there's less of the distractions going on.
That's
There's
how the world
less
works.
Of all this other stuff going on. And sometimes I think we kind of put it on ourselves for U.S. media, right? We just talked about that we had somebody, Brown Chambly's out there talking, trying to stir talking lines already, similar to our Ryder Cup format, right? We had Kirk out there talking like he didn't want anybody from Foreplay on their team, and they went out and got
if
13
Team
and a half
USA,
to 5.
right? If Team USA is leading in Rome, there is no Hackgate.
Yeah. And for any of the Ryder Cups that have been played within the last 20 years, right, as Rick said, they've pretty much been dominant for the home sides.
Correct.
Except for the meltdown in Medina.
Yeah.
Besides that, that's why I think that if you look at, the odds, USA is such a minus number because home soil. We get all the advantages being the home team of setting up the golf course.
I still just can't get over us being that big of a favorite. Every analyst I listen to, everything is just like these teams are insanely evenly matched. If you go look, dude, like the Rome thing too, again, it was a long flight, but on the flight I watched, there's like an hour and 20-minute thing on like a whole recap of last time's Ryder Cup. And I had just forgotten like Scotty and Brooks losing to the two Scandinavians, Hovland and Ludwig, 9-7 is the most preposterous. Scotty's crying.
He cried. Scotty cried.
They made Scotty Scheffler cry. He was number one in the world, dude. They made him
just on the back of a cart crying in Rome. That's brutal.
He was sitting next to his wife crying after losing.
How are we favorited?
9. It's the same team. They have the same team.
We actually,
It's like it's the Højgaard difference.
5 rookies.
Twin brother.
They have one change on it. And did you see that they came out with the photos and they had the exact same spot in the photos?
Yes.
Exact same spot.
Change one initial.
I do like that. Luke
And
Donald's
we're
having
favored
them that
because
way.
we have Russell Henley now. It's just like
Russell Henley's
watched-
gonna play with Scotty, and I think he's gonna do really well.
Love Russell
I think so,
Henley.
too.
He's
Yeah.
part of the Kiz group, right? That's like Kiz was on that group, so I love that. I'm
They're
just
saying his
from
putting is out of control. So like alternate shots, Scotty's gonna hit it to like every single flag, and he's gonna make every single putt.
he's got a great little vibe about him too, Russell Henley. So I'm not sitting here saying we should be underdogs. I'm just saying I cannot believe that we still remain as favored as we are, and it's the same team, dude. Like we were going through the foursomes, right? Foursomes is historically alternate shot has been dominated by the Europeans, and then whoever wins the first session statistically wins the Ryder Cup. So 2 years ago, Luke Donald changed the format. They had gone first with 4-ball forever. He changed it to foursomes. Everybody's like, oh, why? Guess what? They went out and won 4-0. And you know who was huge in that? Was like John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. All they've done since then, the two of them, is like join Live and be teammates at Live. So like they were so dominant in that format 2 years ago. they've only gotten like better as buddies ever since then. Oh, where's Rory McIlroy at now? Well, he came out this year. He won at Pebble. He won the Masters tournament. He won Sawgrass. He just won. What did he win a couple weeks ago? The Irish Open.
Yeah.
It's like he's even better. And you're looking and I'm kind of combing through being like, Tommy Fleetwood just won his first tournament. He's incredible. It's like it's just not going to be easy.
On the coverage, they said that Shane Lowry and Sepp Straka might be their 5th pairing.
Right.
Those are outrageously good players.
Right.
Like Luke Donald may look at his lineup and be like, all right, Shane and Sepp, you're not going to make it. We have 4 better pairings than you guys. That's a tough spot to be for the U.S. if those guys aren't a part of it.
Those guys are not good enough to be put out on their lineup,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
potentially, and you're
Right.
just sitting there going, "Oh my God." So yeah, I'm optimistic that we're gonna have an incredibly close Ryder Cup, which I think is wildly exciting. There were many times 2 years ago where the U.S. we had the advantage in the session. It was like we had 3 leads and they had 1. And then they would like flip it on the last 3 or 4 holes. Remember how many times we lost the 18th hole?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
watching Justin Rose
Kept
make
happening.
putts, Victor Hovland make putts, like watching those guys just win. And I was watching a little bit of Frankie. Our observations from Bethpage Black were spot on. Like I was watching him comb through it last night. I think Johnson Wagner said like he won like a junior tournament out there or something like that. He's played at Bethpage a bunch. He's like the locals have never seen the rough outside of the fairways, like as cut down as it is. They said like this is clearly the Americans think they have a disadvantage off the tee in terms of accuracy, but they have the advantage when it comes to hitting short irons and wedges. And they were like, if you statistically go back and look at Rome, which I'm sure Eduardo Molinari talked about this, but I just forgot all the details, that they had basically made it a long iron competition in Rome, where it was like all the par 5s, even if the Europeans hit good tee shots, they would have long irons into those par 5s. And same with like the par 3s, and same with a lot of the par 4s, where it was like they were trying to get long irons because if it's a wedge competition, the Americans are better at bombing the ball off the tee and wedging it close, and they just kind of refuse that. So in theory, that's like our statistical advantage and course setup advantage that we went with was cut the rough down, send it out there as far as we can. You don't have to hit fairways, and then wedge it close. So that's something to look out for, which, again, is not that far off from the recipe that I believe we hear about every time we host one, where it's like Whistling Straits, also a brutal major championship course that they just didn't set up that hard. It was like same deal. So that's sort of, I think, the angle that we're going with.
You're going to see a ton of birdies, which I
think
guess
so.
they've seen all the analytics and statistics that say that our players can win on a birdie course versus the Europeans.
Love it.
Well, just
Right?
like a Whistling too, right? Bryson drives hole number 1, makes the eagle putt.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Crowd goes crazy. They can move on to number 2, and immediately from there it was downhill.
Yeah, they're just like you're saying, Frankie. They're betting that the Americans can just go lower on
There's
a
a
course
lot of- there's a
because
lot
they're all pro golfers, right?
There's a lot of players
True.
that
Yes,
enjoy.
You know what I mean?
They
Yeah.
enjoy when like par is a good score. There's a lot of guys that say that, like they'd rather play in events
Matthew
where
Fitzpatrick loves
Matthew Fitzpatrick,
that.
like they'd rather grind it out, hit those long iron shots, grind out 4s, make like a really, really good par save, stuff like that. And then and that type of golf can help them be a contender in that type of scenario for golf, like whether it be the Open Championship or whenever things are just way more difficult. You know, guys like Scotty Scheffler go to these PGA Tour events where like 25 under wins the event, 30 under
Right.
wins the events, and he dominates them. He's winning like 9 events a year. Like our guys might just be better in that scenario, in that style of golf.
I agree.
Yeah, I
Like
think
a
that's
birdie
sort of.
fest just makes it better for the U.S.
I think that's sort of what we're banking on, and I hope that they're
Yeah.
right. And you know, I do, like, when I do comb through our lineup, I still get jazzed up. I still think, with it being home and everything, I still think we should be favored. I just think -50 to like, you know, or -150 or -140 is, to me, is shocking. And I also think a lot of the off course noise, which this, you know, we kind of said the same thing going to Whistling Straits, and it didn't matter. We ended up, that was as dominant as it's ever been. But like a lot of the off course noise seems to be going against USA already too, and like the payment issue and that whole thing, which we can get into. I got a whole diatribe over here about that whole deal. But that type of stuff is kind of what makes me nervous. And I guess I'm almost a little bit surprised that the home course advantage, and it's a relatively small sample size, but still has been so substantial over the last our lifetime of Ryder Cups, because I feel like it's more pressure on you too. Like when you go out there, yes, you have the home crowd and they're not like chirping in your ear, but in a negative way, but I still think it's harder. It's like hard to hold serve, even though you statistically should hold serve in tennis. It's like when you get late in a rally, it gets nervy because it's like, I'm supposed to win this point. And that I feel like hasn't clearly shown up that much. I worry that shows up a little bit. And I do worry that this European team, man, again, the neck hugs, the way that they like kiss each other, basically, they're so like Euro-y. Yep. And it's just
and they really are. To get into the payment thing, they are using that. Luke Donald had a couple quotes yesterday. They are using that against us.
It's in politics, you call this a wedge issue.
Yes.
And it's just as classic a strategy as you could possibly come up with. You find an issue where you look like a real asshole if they're on the other side of it. You paint your opponent like they're on the other side of it, and they can never escape it, and you can dominate people that way. And that is.
What are the quotes?
So
we need to hear these.
So just so folks know, the Ryder Cup stipend is a brand new $200,000 payment provided by the PGA of America to each U.S. team member for participating in the event, which is separate from the $300,000 previously designated for donation to charity. Xander was asked about this in his presser. Everybody was. He got to the point where he said, "You guys keep talking about it and trying to make this a negative thing." Rory McIlroy said he would, quote, "pay for the privilege to play in the Ryder Cup." Keegan, when describing it, said, "The PGA of America came to me. They wanted to bring the Ryder Cup into the present day. The charity dollars hadn't changed since 1999, and they asked me to sort of shepherd their way into making it into 2025. When Luke Donald was asked about it, he said that he presented it to his team, and every single member of the team said they have no interest in being paid to play in the Ryder Cup. They consider it a privilege.
Yep, this is what Luke Donald said. He said, "This isn't a week to get paid. We have such a strong purpose in this team and what we play for, and to be honest, we reinvest some of that money back into the experience of these guys. I feel like if you have those experiences that you remember for the rest of your life, that's worth more than a couple $100,000 in the back of your pocket."
Oh, dude, it is such an avoidable, even if on principle, which I'm happy to get into that too. 2023 or 2021 Ryder Cup, they estimated that it made $143 million for the PGA of America. Their estimations this year are that on ticket sales alone, they think it's going to do $125 million in ticket sales, and the tournament's estimated guests projected to do over $200 million in total revenue. So to do that all on the backs of players in a time when we have NIL, in a time when like even amateurs can accept money, all that being so much farther along than it is now, college players getting paid so that the universities and the NCAA aren't just making all the money on the backs of the labor and the star power of people that aren't getting paid. Even with all of that, this is, like we said at the beginning, it is a wedge issue that you simply would rather pay the $200,000 difference just to not give up your advantage with all of this noise.
Well, I do think, and you'd have to go through all the quotes, but because there's no blanket statement for Team USA of this is what we're going to do with the money.
No, then they're asking each one of them individually, like, are you donating the money to?
Right. And a few of them say yes, and a few of them are just like, ah. So I get like,
you guys keep bringing this up.
You guys, boy, you just keep bringing up this hundreds of thousands of dollars. What I'm going to do with it? It's my business.
Holy.
I'm fully on the side of the reason the Ryder Cup is such a big deal is because the big names play in it, and the big names from Team USA and the big names from Team Europe play in it. I have no problem compensating those people for bringing all of the eyeballs. And a part of it obviously is Team USA. Like, people just want to root for their team, but it wouldn't be as big of a deal if the big names weren't involved in it. I'm 100% fine with guys getting paid to play in the Ryder Cup. I've never thought that was an issue at all. It's just that Team Europe can then do what you're saying and just be like, no, I don't want, I'm here for my country. I'm here to win. I'm here for pride. I don't need money.
This isn't a week to be paid. It's just an incredible.
And it's just such an easy way to paint Americans, right? These money hungry, greedy Americans
are
not
people making a ton of money off the Ryder Cup, right? Aside from the players, there's executives, and there's all these people that like make hundreds. I mean, I don't know what, tens of millions of dollars off of
people
these
making
events.
a lot of money off this event.
So like, why has it ever been an issue that the guy's playing and it would get $200,000? I don't understand why this became a talking point in the beginning. Why is it even made public? Why did the money become public? Because Patrick Cantley's like, we aren't getting paid.
I want to say during
good question.
Tiger's era, was there a little?
Tiger definitely said something, or
Yeah.
something came from his camp back in the day of like not getting paid for the Ryder Cup.
Which means it had to have gotten to a nasty point behind closed doors for people to start publicly saying we want to get paid. Like, that means that the PGA of America or somebody was like being the worst organization to these guys, where they had to go to the media and be like, I know that we make, Tiger's a billionaire. But it's like, I know that we make all this money, but like these guys aren't paying us, and we're telling the media about it. We're like leaking out information that we want $200,000. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I know. Look, I get it. I get it on a principle standpoint. I think we talked about this 2 years or so ago.
I think we did. Yeah, we definitely did.
And you get it on a principle standpoint. And again, it aligns with so much that's currently going on and shifting that way. I think we can all see that. It's just at this point in time so bad optically.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
When there's so much money in the game of golf. Everyone's seeing how much money is in the game of golf. Everybody already believes that the separation in the divide in the game of golf is based on this greed and this outrageous amount of money the players are being paid. And then you have this insanely
sorry
cool
to cut you up,
event.
but that's the funny part about it. It's like Tyrrell Hatton and like John Rahm are like, no, it's not about the money. It's like, okay, you just want to live.
Well,
it's
and
like
sooner or later, they
$300 million was you literally went up on a press conference and said it was all about the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Word for word.
Right.
All of this is about the money.
Right.
And sooner or later, we had to get to the point where we're paying players, right? Sooner or later, the Europeans are going to pay their players too, whether it's 2 years down the road or 20 years down the road. It's just going to happen.
I don't
You
know,
pay your
man.
Olympians.
I
you
don't know
pay
if they're
your-
going to accept it.
Every single person that plays for England in a World Cup match gets a similar thing, right? They get money. They get money to put it to charity, or they get match bonuses, whatever it is. It's just part of sport.
Well, and the real part of this is there's clearly a couple of Americans who are like, I'm taking that money.
Yeah.
Because there's no unified stance. Keegan can't step to the microphone and say, we are doing exactly what the Europeans are doing. We are taking
Otherwise, he would have done that.
right.
Yeah.
We are, no matter how much we are getting, whether it's the 200,000 or the 500,000 now, all of that is going back to charity. There's clearly a couple of guys who are like, the 200,000, or I think it's 300,000 now, can go to the charity, but I'm taking that extra 200 grand.
I just don't know if like, if somebody gave you $200,000, should you have to disclose what you're doing with it? What is that anybody else's business?
No, but in this situation, when the
Oh.
other team isn't doing it, you are going to be asked about it. And
Right.
if you don't have a clear answer, then your answer is perceived as, we as the Americans demand to take money and be paid for
That's
this
right, but-
performance.
I get you.
And we don't love the Ryder Cup. We're here for the money, is where like people can pin you as.
But I go back and forth. I kind of jump back and forth. But I'm also 100% on the side of these guys getting paid. It's just that the Europeans, smartly, wedge issue, were like, no, because we are talking about. It's different than the NIL and college, because we're talking
Yeah.
about rich individuals.
Yeah, who get paid to do this. Just
That's
not
right.
this week.
That's right.
Right. Like, the nature of you making this team also guarantees that you have made X amount of money this year
True.
playing this game. Right? That's like,
Yes.
it's already a done deal. And now the tricky part, right, is that doesn't come from the PGA of America at all, except for one event, which is the PGA Championship. And so, like, that would be there is like, okay, but this gigantic entity, which literally gets to like make $200 million every 4 years on us playing, has all that money, and we don't see any of it. That, on a principle standpoint, I think everybody gets. It just fucking sucks when Luke Donald can be like, oh yeah, this isn't a week to get paid. None of our players wanted to. We invested
No,
in
we
the
love it.
European tour and make sure we have nicer setup for the weeks, that everybody's comfortable and it's great. You're just like,
Yeah, that
fuck
was.
you guys.
He threw in an interesting quote in there. He wasn't saying all charity. He was saying part of it goes to making their
Friar's
experience in the
Head.
Ryder Cup better.
Yeah,
So-
right. Maybe paying for their freaking
They-
cottage at Friar's Head.
So like, it's different, but it's not that
They're
different.
taking the money.
If you, in a way, they are.
I'm just gonna say this: just keep all the receipts for when European has to do the same thing, or when they move the same thing, and we're just gonna do the same thing back to
The
them.
U.S.
This
should just have a
generation,
spot-
this generation of European players, I don't think will ever take the money.
Some of the guys on the U.S. used to have a spine, go back at them and be like, are those guys really talking about like taking money right now? Like, this is insane.
That would
Like,
be
John
awesome.
Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. Are you kidding me?
Right? If
now?
Justin Thomas said
Justin
that,
Thomas would be like, are we really making this argument about when it's right to take the money in the game of golf?
Yeah.
Like, how are we having this
Oh.
conversation with these guys?
what a great press conference.
How
that
is
would be.
Rory sitting on the same team as them then? he's like having the same ideas as them about like let's bypass all this money. What are you talking about? The guy sitting to your right took $300 million, left your tour in the dust.
I would love.
Is
for
it
JT
about the
to say
game
that.
or is it about the cash?
Scotty Scheffler
Is it about the
said that.
kids?
Mm-hmm.
Stick it in the bulletin board, Frankie.
Fuck
I
outta
love
here.
it. I love it.
It's crazy.
Is this really for the love of the game?
Yeah.
I'm just like
When
do
you're
we
playing
not have
in
like
Riyadh,
rational thinkers anymore? Like how is Luke Donald with a strong spine saying that right now?
because it's a wedge issue. He knows the benefits of it.
Yeah, I guess so. I
He
mean,
100% knows. It's got the people going.
and no one's gonna call him out and be like, "Wow." I mean,
No, it had everybody in the press conference being like, "Hey, Luke Donald said they will never take the money. It's not a what? What are you doing with your money?"
because they've already gotten paid for everything else.
Yeah.
God. Who cares? Let's get balls in the air.
No, I'm on that side of it too. I'm mostly
US
just
needs
like-
to start being a little bit more like, who gives a fuck? Get balls in the air, man.
You may have heard Adidas is the official golf apparel and golf footwear partner of Foreplay. Our partnership fuses Adidas high performance and versatile gear with our laid back, entertaining, hopefully, golf culture. I also saw, we got names right here, right? Adidas is the trusted apparel footwear for golf's biggest names: Colin Morikawa, Ludwig Oberg, Rose Zhang, Lynn Grant. There are 7 players in the field this week at the Ryder Cup, the most of any footwear company. 7 players rocking Adidas. We're just insanely proud to be Adidas guys now.
Very proud. Yeah, tonight's our first live show rocking the Adidas. I can't wait for everyone to see all of our different fits as we have on right now. It's just like, this is the stuff that I was wearing, like I said, when I learned how to play the game of golf, high school golf. This is like, I was always rocking Adidas, so to be back in it feels like you're kind of just back to your roots, and it feels right, you know? I mean, I love the Tour 360s more than anything.
Me
These
too.
shoes I'm wearing right now, these are golf shoes, but they're basically just like everyday wear shoes. I've been wearing them every single day. I love it all. And honestly, I just got a bunch of stuff on Adidas.com yesterday for my whole entire family. And like, you can't believe how many cool things, how many cool things are on that site. Like, it's not just like, their full site is outrageous.
Yeah.
How cool
Yeah, it
stuff
is.
is.
It's so fun to go look.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I'm addicted to it. I'm wearing an outfit tonight that's Adidas Originals. That is unlike any outfit you've ever seen me wear, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited to branch out a little bit because Adidas has a ton of different options.
You're a big 3-stripe guy, Beef.
Love Team 3-Stripe Force.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Favorite shoes, the Code Chaos. It's represented this year at the Ryder Cup. That
Mhm.
would be Tyrell Hatton, who's wearing the
Is
Code
that right?
Chaos shoes.
Adidas, the official golf apparel and footwear partner of Foreplay, and it can be yours too, whether you're chasing birdies or at the 19th hole. Adidas gear is made to perform while keep you comfortable and confident wherever you play. Get yours at www.adidas.com/golf. Once again, that is adidas.com/golf. This show is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana, and orange mango with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. I think that's the huge part about Body Armor. Look, we all grew up with like sports drinks. Everybody did.
Yeah.
But as you got older, you started to learn like, wait, what's in that? What's going on with this? Why is that not kind of what I thought it was? With Body Armor, again, they got all the delicious flavors, hydrates you like you wouldn't believe. They're great to drink, but they also got no artificial dyes, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, none of that stuff.
Yeah, it really is. And my refrigerator could not be more stocked with Body Armor. So whenever I have people over, I mean, even like, my mother-in-law and father-in-law were over the other day. They were super like dehydrated. They're like, we need something. I had one of those ice chilled Body Armors. I threw it on ice in like in a tumbler type deal.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to them. You couldn't believe the look on their face. Like this, and there's like you're saying, it's light. It's not too sweet. All of these things. There's not sugar in it. It's just a really, really clean sports drink.
Absolutely. We love Body Armor. They've been with us for a while now. I got it stocked at my house. Whether you wake up the next day, depending on what you got into the night before, the day before, Body Armor is going to be great for you. Maybe for us living out in the desert, it's dry. Just being hydrated with Body Armor is so good for you. In a bold new look with the same great taste, get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor, choose better.
I mean, Bryson's been making some waves. I mean, a lot of it was goaded on by by our guy Brandel Chambly, which was an
That was
interesting back and
nuts.
forth.
Brandel with some out of pocket comments.
Can we put that quote in this episode? Put it right here, Ryan Richardson.
Yeah, I did send the clip to Ryan Richardson of Brandel. I don't know if you want to play that real quick.
Have you heard this, Frankie?
This is all time.
This
Brandel-
clip, I watched this.
Play this Brandel clip.
Made me feel uncomfortable.
To drum up some interest for himself, and I thought it was pretty poignant there when he asked about the retort of Rory that he didn't mention the goal this week of a Ryder Cup. Nope, he didn't do that. He didn't talk about playing on a team and how much that meant. Nope, he didn't do that. What he did do was talk about his YouTube channel, which, if we want to talk about the numbers that are generated from that, it's pretty dubious. I have no doubt that bots are generating a lot of those views. There may be some interest as well, but that's what he wants to talk about, not the team, not the Ryder Cup. And this is one of the reasons why I think he's going to be such a difficult person to get paired with. No doubt he's one hell of a golfer. No doubt he has his moments of generosity with fans. I've heard about him. But he's an odd duck when he's trying to blend in with the team, and he has so many potential bulletin board mistakes. I think he would be a captain's nightmare.
All
right, so-
the bulletin board mistakes part, we kind of agreed with. We said that in the last show where we're like, Bryson is too much of a quirky, like not naturally funny, not naturally witty, and everything that he does, you can kind of throw that up on the bulletin board and be like, this guy is giving us way too much of he opens way too many doors for us to creep in.
Agree with that.
Yes.
His YouTube views are real.
I mean, that was like a little bit. That was a weird comment.
I didn't understand that.
Look, I'll say we're huge Brandel guys on this show. Brandel, when he came and did our show at the Masters, couldn't have been better. He's telling stories.
He's been very generous.
He's vibing with everybody. He's just the man. Brandel also has to speak all the time for hours and hours, and Brandel knows how to get the people going.
Okay.
And one year, if you recall, he was like demanding that the 17th hole at Sawgrass was like the worst hole in the history of golf. And he just was dying on that hill that entire year at Sawgrass. And I think occasionally he gets himself to the spot. He's also notoriously not a live guy. I think people know that.
Yeah, true.
Not a huge live fan. And Bryson's a big live guy. Having said all that, that blew me away when I saw him call all of Bryson's views bots. I couldn't believe that he said that. I don't, look, I think right now, it was early enough in the week that Bryson said that all of the players are now able to, and they have time and opportunity to come out and be like, oh, Bryson's been incredible,
yes.
all that. If the U.S. loses, we'll see what all that stuff, because nobody leading up to a Ryder Cup is like, yeah, most guys in the room are pretty good, but so you're going to get, that's fine. And everybody is being like, dude, Bryson, he flew to Atlanta, he flew to Napa. By all accounts, he's been a phenomenal teammate so far. So all that stuff that Brandel said, that whole quote, it got everybody riled up, and it made me think what Frankie said earlier. It made me wish the guys in the press conference from Team USA would say more shit like that in general about the Ryder Cup in Europe going into this thing. And because Europe's taking shots, like when Luke Donald says that, we did the whole wedge issue thing, when he says that, he's taking a shot when he says that.
Scotty had Bryson's back, which was nice. We talked about in the last
Very
show
nice.
about Rory, kind of going back at Bryson being like, the only way he gets attention is mentioning me and Scotty. Scotty had his back, which I like to see.
Love to see.
Yeah, man, that Brandel YouTube comment really blew my hair back. If you're going to question, Bryson's huge. Bryson is a mega superstar.
Yep.
Did break at 50 with President Trump, by the way.
If you're going to talk about a guy who definitely gets the views, it's Bryson. What are you looking at, Frankie?
Was Brendan still here? Was I allowed to park in the side parking spot there?
Yeah, you can park wherever you want.
No, I just didn't know if that was like the house over.
No, that's the house's garage. Yeah.
Okay, we're staying in an Airbnb. You wouldn't believe the price of these Airbnbs. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to talk about money.
Yeah, if any American player wants to break off some of our
exactly. We need some help with that.
Yeah, you are right though. Like not Bryson. Brandel has a way, and I don't know if he does it on purpose, to just really stir things up. I wish he weren't doing it against an American player. If we could just all have a united front, stir up some shit about Rory or Rahm or anybody else.
Especially because Paul McGinley's up there next to him. Paul
That's
McGinley
right.
is on the board of Team Europe Ryder Cup.
Right.
So he's he was the fucking captain at one point, and he still is involved as anybody. He's standing up there. He's talking about the inspirational video that they put up about the 37 players from Europe that have ever won an away Ryder Cup, and he's describing the video like he was in the meeting directing people where to go film people. Like he's saying we. He is Team Europe Ryder Cup. He represents it as much as anybody.
Yep.
And then Brandel's sitting up there next to him who's also going in on like Bryson. You're like, that's what McGinley should be saying. We need a guy up there, red, white, and blue. And David Duval was that guy for a little bit, but he's not really as energetic with it all as those two. So it's like Brandel up there burying Bryson, and then Paul McGinley sitting there. He had some funny facial expressions during that, but he also, he's up there being like the European team shits on Bryson behind the scenes.
Of course
they do.
Absolutely.
They do it for everybody. Who wouldn't? It's a fucking team. You do that no matter what. If you're on a high school football team, you make fun of the opposing high school football team players the whole week leading up to it. So it is what it is. But McGinley's laughing about a lot of that stuff, and the bulletin board stuff is true. But I do think Brandel does a decent amount of that stuff on purpose.
You think
I
so?
think he likes to get the people going.
Man,
I don't know for sure.
It's not really great audio experience, but Bryson's response to that was pretty classic Bryson. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
It was, he just sort of turned, he was signing a bunch of autographs for fans, and someone was videoing him, and he just turned around, and what did he say? He goes,
Did Brandel say
did
something about me?
Brandel say something about me yesterday? It was just not as, and it didn't come off as cleanly as you would want it to.
Yeah.
He should have said, like, look at all these bots that I'm signing flags for.
100%.
That would have been a home run,
If we were in a writer's room and we were able to give him some
bots.
advice.
That would have been a home run.
I do feel bad for Bryson from time to time because he is thrown into the limelight and the fire, and he's just, it doesn't come to him naturally,
No.
right? And like you see it.
Yeah.
Whenever he's been in like a live form, he's always kind of put his foot in his mouth. But then when he does his YouTube channel, it's very edited, and he's able to put out the best stuff that he's able to put out, and that's why he comes across so lovable and so great in that kind of form. So this is a tough spot for him, man. He's just not good at it.
I do think
and he ends up being like the guy that we all kind of gravitate towards. It's like, dude, he's just not. Some guys are just like not captains, right? And like they're just like don't command a room. Like I don't know. It's just he just isn't good at this stuff.
I do think it can end up being a rallying point for Team USA. Scotty kind of did it when he responded, just being
he's
like,
probably normal in the room, dude.
I think
that's
so.
kind of what I mean is like when he's in the public setting, he kind of just like falls down the run. He's like running down a hill and he can't catch himself.
Big time.
And when he's like having beers and just going to dinner with the guys, he's probably just like super normal guy.
Yep.
Like we've done that with him.
Yes.
We've hung out with him when he won the U.S. Open at Wingfoot. We like hung out with him and did like a pizza.
Frankie's
review.
giving him pizza.
Dude, he
We were
was
in the
like
clubhouse at
unbelievably.
Wingfoot.
He's
That was
an
insane.
unbelievably normal guy. I just think that when he gets out there and he sees the red light on the camera, he thinks about everything, the PR side of it.
Yep.
He thinks about how everything's going to how everything's going to come across. He has been at the bottom and he's now risen to the top, and he like tries to stay there, and he's got all these different avenues that he's putting out content on, TikTok style, Instagram style. He's hitting over his house. Like he's just doing all these different things to stay like in good graces with the public eye. And then when someone asks him something about Brandel or whatever, it's just like something just snaps off, and he's just like, it's not natural. Like you said, he doesn't have a writer's room. He doesn't have he doesn't have those jokes that come to him naturally. So I do feel bad for him. We get on him a lot.
But I
just
mean,
think he's getting a bad rap.
Two handsome guys on Wake Up Barstool this morning said he's the most famous golfer on planet Earth.
That's
Like,
right. He
there's
is.
like an argument to be made that he is
TV stars. You guys do makeup?
no. I had to take my glasses off because they were fogging up.
That was nuts.
I love when that
It
happens.
was,
dude.
when I get
crazy.
going and my face starts to get hot,
So it's the face heat that's doing
it's
it.
the face heat.
Wow.
I had to take my
face
glasses
heats
off.
up that much?
Yeah, dude. I was making a Bryson point. I had to take them off because they were fogging up.
It was nuts.
Really good TV debut.
Yeah.
That's
but
good
yeah,
stuff.
I had put the baby to bed 12 seconds before we went live.
Really?
I was just like I barely had pants on. You know what I mean? Like I was just like I was just in the mix. I was not ready for my first TV hit to be just like in the morning at my house right now.
Riggs is
You
going
guys
on
crushed it,
today.
though.
No, it was great. It was great to be on. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool to be on TV. Like
It is nice.
as far as everything goes, like still being on TV is like
Yeah.
a cool thing. It is weird that I'm like in my apartment. I'm just like, all right, here we go.
I'm on TV.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on TV.
Oh.
But yeah, Bryson overall, he really has already been a lightning rod in terms of controversy this week. But I think that can work. That can work to Team USA's advantage. Now, like you're saying, once it's all over, if we have a Phil Tom Watson moment, who knows?
He could be the guy.
Right.
But so far it's been great. And Russell Henley told a great Bryson story in his press conference. He was asked the same deal about the teammate and, all this stuff about Bryson and what are people saying, and that they don't see him that often. So what's it like throwing somebody like that back in the mix? He told a story from, I think, 4 years ago. He said, Russell Henley said it was one of his first chances to like really win on the tour. and he choked away in bad fashion the Wyndham Championship and just felt horrible. There's no real good way to handle it. And he said the other guys on tour don't really know how to speak to you when that happens to you. Like, people kind of ignore you almost, or it's weird.
Yeah.
And he said, next time I saw Bryson was 2 weeks ago. He's like, Bryson went out of his way to come over to me and be like, hey, man, I saw that at the Wyndham. I just want you to know you've been playing incredible golf. Like, don't let that get you down. That happens to everybody. Like, kind of like doesn't play their best, chokes away a tournament. It happens to everybody. And like, keep grinding. You're playing amazing golf. And Russell Henley was like, that always stuck out to me as like a really, really classy thing that he did. So great story out of Bryson. Like Frankie was just saying, from behind the scenes, it's not necessarily thrown into the fire. And I agree with that point, that I think he gets thrown in as like a controversial figure just because he is weird and different a lot, that people have hot takes on him. And then next thing you know, just for being like an odd duck, as Brandel called him.
Called him an odd duck. Holy
which
shit.
is pretty accurate. He all of a sudden now has to answer to like controversial stuff. He now has to answer to like Brandel being like, this guy's a captain's nightmare. And it's like, well, I'm just kind of like a weirdo. That was my own thing.
When I heard captain's nightmare, that part made me think he practiced that in the mirror. Captain's nightmare, he knew that was going to grab headlines.
Even the way he said no. Like, he kept going back to the no. The whole thing kind of sucked. Sorry, Brandel. I mean, it just sucked.
No,
well, I hated the clip too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I texted him about it. I was like, Jesus.
The bots thing is just not true.
That's not true. I want to be firm on the side that that's a lie. That felt very, I don't know. I don't know if it's like what Beef alluded to, how he like played with Trump and everyone always like thinks that everything, all those numbers are inflated. Like that was a weird, something was like charged behind that statement of him just being like, all of your views are fake. That's psychotic. Like, this guy is just putting out great content and is taking over the golf YouTube space. Why are we like alluding to like some weird thing that's going on behind the scenes as to why he'd be getting more
How about the
views
little
or...
jab where he goes, he was like, and apparently he's had moments of being very generous with the fans, which I've heard about.
I've yet to witness any
Like,
of
you
that.
can't
I've just
witness
heard
any
it
of
through the grapevine that he's nice to people.
It was a very
I
surprising.
closed my eyes when those clips were on.
Do you think he's just doing it on purpose, like Stephen A. Smith, or
I
like,
can't decide. And Riggs is saying there is probably a part of that. I bet there
My
is.
instinct is, I don't know. I don't have
Does he
inside
skip
baseball on
Bayless?
that stuff, but
What's that?
Does he
occasionally-
skip Bayless?
Bro, it's a worthy, like, you make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
You know what
you
I
guys
mean?
are rich and very like famous. in
Yeah.
the sports
Right.
world.
Brandel, there's like not even a second, third, fourth, or fifth place in terms of like golf commentators that
Yeah.
move the needle.
Yeah.
Dude, Brandel
On
like,
TV.
weekly gets quoted on every golf out. Think about how much shit we say on this podcast that never gets quoted or cared about anywhere. Brandel gets quoted on these golf accounts like twice a week, every week,
Yeah.
for whatever he says about anything.
Yeah.
So there is an angle of like,
Right. Like, who's even second place? Golf TV commentator that people get that, they get up in their feelings about.
dude, TV commentator, like nobody.
Zero.
The second,
Well, get up in their feelings about, I would say nobody, but like, noteworthy. I mean, I don't know. Jim Nance, like anytime he says anything about anybody, or Trevor Immelman.
It's tough. He's just a guy at the desk.
because Jim Nance, I don't think
Richard,
ever says
right,
anything
Richard.
about anybody.
What do you? Paul Azier was controversial,
Azinger.
but he was more of like
He was more like aloof on the
he
coverage.
was aloof is the perfect
That
word.
ball's
he
going
would
to
be
stop
like-
rolling
That
here, so
ball's
he's going to be putting
that
for
is
birdie.
one of the
U.S.
funniest
Open,
clips.
just the
Yeah.
best
in
clip in
history.
history.
That ball's going to stop rolling, and then as we all watched reality go against what he was saying, he said it's going to stop any second.
Pretty
now.
sure that was his last tournament. I think they yanked him off the air and they put Kevin Kisner in there. Like,
But
Jesus.
I don't think there was
And
any.
right here, unfortunately, that ball's going to stop rolling because
just didn't quite get it to the ridge.
just
That's gonna
didn't
stop
quite get to
rolling
the
here.
ridge. That ball's going to stop rolling, and then just kept getting closer and closer. You might have to put that clip in.
It might still be rolling
Yeah.
that ball.
That I don't think, like you're saying, aloof, no forethought into like this is going to make people mad. I think Brandel goes in the lab.
He's like, yeah, I think so too, and I think he's the biggest one. I don't think Johnny Miller like went in the lab, but I think he, from a golf commentator standpoint, is the most talked about, and what he says carries, like, people pay attention to it. It's noteworthy enough. The most since like Johnny Miller.
Johnny Miller's a good one, but he didn't do it on purpose. He was more.
No.
He was just like pretty snide and had opinions, and there happened to be a microphone.
Snide.
Don't be snide.
Remember that Frank the Tank
Frank said
said
that. Who did he say that?
Nate. Don't be snide.
During
You're always getting snide with me.
I think it was
Rowan
during
goes,
a-
don't be
a
snide.
Jenga tournament.
During Jenga.
Every time somebody would hit a bad shot and Johnny Miller was on the coverage, you'd just be like, oh, that's all nerves right there.
all of it.
Just that's all nerves.
Every Sunday, the last hour window, he's like, "We're just in nerve zone now."
And I would love, they would pan to like Lee Westwood about to hit a shot at the U.S. Open, and he would go, this is the most nervous he's ever been, ever. And then let it breathe for like 5 seconds, and then he would hit.
And then like the Milwaukee Open stuff, like that's
Oh,
just him, dude.
That's all time quote. Man,
That's
not bad
just
for the
him.
Milwaukee
Not
Open.
bad for the Milwaukee Open. That's all just regular Johnny Miller. What's Johnny Miller up to? He's still around, yeah?
Yeah, dude. Remember they brought him back out of the booth at Oakmont this year?
I think you're right.
And he did a segment. You know, those
Oh,
are always
Oakmont made
tough
sense,
when,
yeah.
like, he looks way, way older than he did last time he was doing the coverage.
Sure.
But it was very endearing. He was up there with Dan Hicks, and it was a very endearing segment. I can't remember. They do it on, like, Friday or something, maybe at the U.S. Open this year. I can't remember exactly when they did it, but he was up there relatively recently. He's a huge family guy. I know that's not, like, a lot of people are family people, but I feel like Nick Faldo, for example, I never thought came across as like, oh, he's just a huge family guy. I think Johnny Miller was like, couldn't wait to retire because everyone's like, he loves spending time with his
Interesting.
family. Yeah.
I was a Johnny Miller. I would critique him all the time, and he would drive me crazy. But then when he's gone, it's kind of like the Joker is no longer around.
Yeah. I feel like
I'm
you came
Batman,
around
I got
on
him
Johnny
every
Miller
Joker.
late. You came around on Johnny Miller like later, I feel like.
Because you don't realize then, I mean, the guys who do it now do a great job, but there is something about having a curmudgeon in the booth.
Yeah, definitely.
It really
It
is.
was beautiful to witness, and you had to listen. Like, I'll say, like, Trevor does an amazing job.
Of course.
They do such a good job, and Kiz does an amazing job. Neither one of them are as, like, must listen as Johnny Miller was. He could say anything.
Yes.
He would say, like, stunning stuff. He would pan at somebody. And he would just be like, somebody would hit one, and he'd be like, ugh, that was a horrible shot.
Yeah.
And then be like, Dan Hicks be like, we're going to go back over to 15 now.
All right.
He would just leave it out there.
Johnny Miller, what a guy.
Yeah, it was
The
incredible.
Islanders have a guy like that, Butch Goring. He was on the Islanders 80s teams, right? And like
He played for him, you're saying.
yeah, but now he's been the announcer the last 10, 15 years, however long it's been. He's a color commentator. Not a great color commentator. Gets everything wrong. Like just like everything wrong, right? And always complains about guys not being as hard as they were in the 80s. And like the guy Brendan Burke who announces with them is always just like correcting him about things. Like he'll call Matt Martin Mike Martin, and he'll be like very, very confident about it. Mike Martin with the great hit, and then you'll hear the other announcers be like, "That's Matt Martin," and you can just hear it in his voice, be like, "I can't believe I have to deal with this." But he's actually stepping away from like doing all the commentary as much as he did last year, and I'm finding myself like I'm gonna miss the shit out of him because as much as everyone was like, "I can't take this anymore." You're going to miss all those mistakes, man. Like, there's something so entertaining about that.
It's what helped make them broadcast the broadcast.
Just a guy
Right.
that, like, has really no idea what he's talking about anymore. Just, like, constantly
Bro,
talking
that was the
during
end
a
of Harry Carey. Harry
Yeah.
Carey didn't know what teams were playing.
Yeah, he had no idea.
And he became an icon. They still, I mean, he's an icon.
Yeah, they just trotted him out there, and he loved it.
You
The
own-
Bulls used to have this guy named Stacey King. We do the same
Oh,
thing.
for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I think he does it for the Celtics.
I love Stacey
And it's
King.
the same thing. It was like these little, idiosyncrasies and mannerisms that like came through, and you're like, when I think of that, that's what I think
It's
of.
entertainment at the end of the day.
It is. And like Jack Edwards, who was the famous Bruins announcer that
Yeah.
would go on these tirades against every other team all the time.
Yeah.
He was insanely famous for that. Not in the same way where he like knew everything inside and out, but he was so hilariously biased towards the Bruins and anti all the other teams that as a viewer, I had because lived in Boston for 10 years watching all the Bruins games with all my buddies, and I would see. And then last year he ended up getting like an undiagnosed, I think, speech, like something that affected his speech, so he had to retire like a year ago. And I remember just being so devastated when he retired.
Yeah.
And dude, he has some all-time, like, if you go look at some of his reactions when, like, if he thinks a Toronto Maple Leaf took a cheap shot at like a Boston Bruin, there are clips of him. They have to go to commercial. He's on like a 2-minute tirade against how pieces of shit they are, and they have to go to commercial.
Dude, Ron Santo was like that
Yeah.
on
Same
the
exact way.
radio.
Woo.
It's
Same
now it's
exact way.
different when it's. I guess it's different when it's a national broadcast as opposed to you're listening to your home team. But I don't know. Johnny Miller made it work, man.
Made it work. And you're right. It's entertainment.
It is.
At the end of the day. Like, that's what it is. And so, yeah, to bring that all full circle, like, Brandel, I usually think that there's got to be something that the bot thing is founded in rather than just him being anti-Bryson. I don't know what it is yet. He's such a deep diver on all the points that
I've
he
been
makes.
getting these reports from
Brand-
the bot farms.
And it came out around the same time, right? Like YouTube, we're not going to get political, but like it was like the YouTube admitted yesterday that like the Biden administration had told them to censor a lot of things and like remove stuff, and they announced that they were going to reinstate YouTube accounts that had been taken down due to like these requests from the Biden administration, and some of that stuff was going out at the same time. So I'm looking at, and I don't know if he got those two things conflated with like bots and YouTube.
It felt very politically charged,
It was
even though he
insane.
didn't. And I don't want to throw that onto him, but it felt very weird. Like, I know a lot of people hate Bryson for a lot of reasons, but like if we're gonna start saying that he's like buying his, he's just crushing it on YouTube.
So
Dude, like,
popular on YouTube.
Like that's just Brandel like doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, go look at a freaking like if you think Bryson's getting a lot of views, go watch like Miss Rachel. Go watch Mr. Beast. Go watch Dude Perfect. Like Brandel's like, this guy's getting 1 million views in a day. It's like, buddy, like if that's buying bots, Mr. Beast is
right. That's
is
like me
got a
coming out and
full
being like,
farm. It's
Mr.
the whole
Beast, I don't know about those views.
That's pretty sketchy.
70
Some
million in a
bots.
week. Like
Yeah.
Brandel's
So,
like, I'm gonna do a deep dive on that.
I think his point, he started it being like nobody's watching Live, yet like millions of people apparently are watching this YouTube video. He's
Right.
like, no chance.
Right.
And
Sitting
it's,
at his like coffee table, just like connecting dots. 12,000 people watch
Those
the live.
I
products are
can't
so
wait to talk
different.
to him about that.
2.5 million
So
watch
different.
Bryson. He's got to be buying bots.
No, that was
Sipping his
wild.
wine.
That was wild. You don't need to sink a 30-foot putt to score big this weekend. You can just fire up the old DraftKings Sportsbook and take your shot at the green, the kind with dollar signs. Look, a lot of DraftKings Sportsbook chatter on this show because of, reasons we get into towards the end. But we've been talking about this for a couple months now in terms of the odds, what it's looking like for the Ryder Cup this week. The U.S. being so heavily favored. Do we agree with that? Do we not agree with that? So, get into the DraftKings Sportsbook, there's a phenomenal slate, by the way, this Saturday of college football. NFL always has a great slate. And now there's something better even than perhaps a hole-in-one. It is new customers bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $200 in bonus instantly. We love the DraftKings Sportsbook.
There is a hole-in-one bet this week, by the way, which I will be riding. It's plus 400 for anybody to make a hole-in-one. Obviously a very small field, not as much golf as a normal tour event, all of that. But I still, I'm a little torn because I don't want a European player to make a hole-in-one.
Nope.
But it's still a fun thing to root for. A hole-in-one at a Ryder Cup is something that I think would be pretty sweet. So I'm going to ride that.
I'm thinking that 8th hole would be so cool
Yeah.
down the hill over that little pond.
100%.
Somebody getting an ace there.
There's a bunch of stuff for the Ryder Cup on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Just go in there and look around.
I was looking at I think it's going to be a really close Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
So I was looking at, there were some, you could bet like USA, you could bet USA like plus, 1.5 or something like that.
Interesting.
And I was just, because I'm thinking like even if they lose, I think it's going to be close no matter what.
Right.
Close is not how you would say it.
Close. So
Close,
you
no
can
matter
basically
what.
bet a spread of the Ryder
And
Cup.
yeah, and I was like looking,
Interesting.
even if it's like, if you don't love the line, but you could almost get away with, I saw like you could do like Europe plus 2 or something, and then it was like even if US still wins by like 1 or something, you still like win. I was like
Cover,
I was trying to get clever. Yeah, right. I was trying to get clever with it. But point being, you can do all that on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Take your swing at winning some dough this week. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FORE. That's code FORE for new customers. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Golf is hard, but protein is easy with one Hershey's Double Chocolate made with 18 grams of protein and only 1 gram of sugar to deliciously fuel your golf game. Only one Hershey's Double Chocolate is made with Hershey's Cocoa. I know you mentioned it when we were talking DraftKings earlier, but a hole-in-one this week would be pretty nice. I looked it up. The last hole-in-one in the Ryder Cup, I believe, was 2006.
Oh, I was curious. I was wondering, like, I know it's not that common, but I was wondering when the last one, I would have thought more recently than 2006. So Ryder Cup hole-in-one, pretty rare.
Well, there's not that many golfers out
That's
there.
what I was, yeah, it is so true. There's so less groups, less people going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2006, I guess that makes sense.
You know what apparently it's not that rare is everyone on YouTube Golf is getting holes in one.
Everybody except us.
Yeah.
It's so rare. It's rare only for us.
Congrats to our good friend, Fat Perez,
It's crazy.
FP.
He got another one?
He got one on
Busted Jack.
Wow.
Yep.
Cold as ice celebration too. His celly went viral. Just like kind of gave him a high five, which I said would be unbelievably cool if someone did, and he did it. He was just like went in, let's go. And everyone's comments like, this man's fucking built different.
Damn.
Unreal. No run, no nothing.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
One, man. One's great, and the one Hershey's double chocolate, also great. Protein just
As
got
good as it looks, by the way.
delicious.
Let's go. You guys can give me some credit on that? Ryan Richardson sent that in. As good as it looks. I don't know where I saw that. On some box, something. It was in the back of my brain, though. I know that.
I doubted you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't believe you. I just
That
thought
graphic was from the graphic they sent us to put on our clips when we
Yep.
do the Hershey one.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. That's amazing.
Incredible.
Well done.
as
huge
good as it
win.
looks.
Really
as it
good
looks.
win.
It is as good as it looks.
I
That's
agree.
fact.
This is double chocolate bar, and you're like, how could this only be 1 gram of sugar and 18 grams of protein? And I've been saying this to all my buddies when I bring them out to the golf course with them. I'm like, you guys got to try this. Even the athletes, they're like, I'm in season. I can't be eating like bars. I'm like, I'm telling you, dude,
Yep.
this tastes incredible. And it's like, read what's on the box. It's like 1 gram of sugar, 18 grams of protein.
Buy the new one, Hershey's Double Chocolate Protein Bar on Amazon. That is, again, the one Hershey's Double Chocolate Protein Bar on Amazon. Protein just got delicious. Let's do some pairings.
Okay.
I want to talk
Yeah.
pairings. We got this sheet today, and I had a couple different tweets about it. We kind of mentioned it off the top a little bit, but the European team I don't think is going to be reinventing the wheel. They had a couple teams last year, 2 years ago, that absolutely dominated. I mentioned John Rahm, Tyrrell Hatton when it came to the foursomes. Were completely dominant. Shane Lowry and Sepp Straka, Frankie brought up earlier. They've been paired together for some of these practice rounds. Another foursome that was paired together. We had Rory and Matthew Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland, Robert McIntyre, and then their other group was Ludwig, Tommy, Rasmus Højgaard, and Justin Rose. We can get into the Euros a little bit later, but if you're going Team USA, we're sitting at lunch earlier, myself and Beef, after a little bit of a walk out there, and he asked me, he's like, who's your first pairing that you're leading with in alternate shot
I got
Friday
mine.
morning?
I think it's as easy as anything.
I think it's Henley Scheffler.
100%.
What did you guys say?
Beef made a great point.
Bryson JT.
Xander Patrick?
Well, we did talk about Xander and Patrick.
I was a big Cantlay guy.
Yeah.
I
And-
was a big
Just the opening hole is so important to these guys. So I told Riggs, I go, what happens if Bryson just drives number one again and just starts this whole thing off with another bang?
I could see that.
I think that when you look at the practice rounds for the past 3 days, I think they already know who they're playing with. And
Who?
I don't think,
Yeah.
and I don't think that they're
Oh.
changing it up at all.
I think it'll be Bryson JT.
Right? So I think, yes,
Oh.
Scotty will
Do you
play with
think so?
Russell. I think Harris will play with Colin. I think Cameron Young will play with JT.
Oh, you
I
it'll
think
be
Ben
Cam?
Griffin will play with
Wow.
Bryson.
I think there's some Griffin Bryson chatter.
And I think
Wow.
that, yeah,
Interesting.
Patrick will play with Xander and JJ Spawn will play with Sam Burns. Now, depending upon who they're playing against, right, or whether they're going to play morning or afternoon matches, obviously we still don't know that yet, but I don't think that they're going to change up playing partners.
Here's my thought process if I was a captain. I'm sending out Scotty out there because he's the best player in the world. And like if you want that bang, that because you've got a bang in your back pocket and it's Bryson driving the first green. So like you're already getting a bang from it's almost like how they don't book Islander Ranger games on the weekends because they know the weekends are going to sell out, right? So like you already know Bryson is a weekend sellout. He is going to bring the fire no matter when he goes out there.
Yeah.
Why would you waste that on the first tee shot? Like it's already going to be outrageous. The nerves, the energy, the announcements. It's like send Scotty Scheffler out there and he's just going to win the hole. He's the best player in the world. Send him out there and now you've got that punch coming out 2 or 3 groups later. Like send it out later. You've got this fiery guy. He's going to see how everyone's doing on the golf course and you send him out I send him out in the second half of it. I send him out 2 or 3 for sure.
That's sort of the way I've come around on Patrick Cantlay, because Patrick Cantlay, he has turned into like our new Patrick Reed. He
Yeah.
really has. He's
You can
kind
just
of been-
take it.
He's this like not on a week-to-week basis, not the most loved guy out there. There's things to find about him that irritate everyone. He's just a little blah. He's a little like quiet.
Slow
he's a
play.
little like slow. He's just like the whole deal. Yet when it comes to Ryder Cup time, dude, it's insane how good he was the last 2 Ryder Cups, and especially the last one with that putt that he made, which had Joe LaCava doing his hat in front of Rory's face and like winning that match, stealing that point on Saturday that gave us a little bit of hope, and like how much he was legit the lightning rod that all European fans were firing at and
Yeah.
were just so, and he handled it so insanely well that one of my instincts was lead with that motherfucker because he's going to go out and get a point. But I kind of agree with that point of like he's let him go third or fourth and be that guy. Like, let all the energy be going nuts in front of you. People can't believe the Ryder Cup started.
Yes,
Blah.
exactly.
Whereas Patrick Cantlay's back there waggling his feet 87 times before he pulls the club back and just couldn't give a fuck less about Bryson's driving greens, Scotty's winning holes. Doesn't really care as much. Whereas he's just kind of back there. And then by the time all the attention gets off the first couple matches because they're over, and you're like, oh, who's left on the course? You look back, and, like, Hattie Ice is back there, like, just draining putts to stay one up. And you're like, that's my guy.
So we think it's going to be Colin and Xander? Is that what you said?
Colin and Harris English.
Colin and Harris.
Xander will play with Patrick Cantley.
Got
You
it.
think so?
So then my question
They've
is,
split them up in the past, though, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they did 2 years
So
ago.
then my question is, if we've talked about Patrick Cantley playing with Xander, and we've talked about Scotty and Russell Henley,
Mm-hmm.
and we think that Bryson will probably play with Ben Griffin, who's the fourth twosome that you would put out in the first group?
It would JT.
JT
And-
and Cameron Young.
I don't hate that.
So that means that
That's a good, like,
so that means that the people sitting would be JJ Spawn and Sam Burns, and Harris English and Colin Morikawa.
I could see that.
I could see.
Oh, Collins.
I think he's going to get JJ Spawn in there tomorrow morning somehow.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know where.
So the U.S. Open winner will play.
I
right?
just think he's going to get JJ Spawn in there in the morning somehow.
Okay.
I think there's a theory to that too of trying to get your rookies in there pretty early.
I don't disagree with that.
You know,
Man, look how hard it is for us to come up with just the parents. He's got such a hard job. Keegan.
such a hard job.
Hard for Zach.
And
too.
then there's totally different. It was pretty easy for Zach. And then there's totally different pairings. There's totally different science and math and data behind the 4 balls in the afternoon. So I disagree. I think they're gonna go with different teams in the afternoons.
You think they're going to change up the pairings?
Yeah, because I think there's just different data behind
Yeah,
it.
who can
You
play
know,
with who
and you
and-
got to see how it goes.
you definitely.
The other
have to
good
see
thing is there's not the 1 ball rule is not in effect this week. So if we were playing together, I could play my golf ball until it's Trent's turn, and Trent can play his golf ball afterwards.
There you go.
how- well, on any particular hole. So you have to play your opponent. You have to play the same ball throughout the hole.
So it's whatever you tee off with. You
No, I
finish
thought the
with.
report came out that they could switch.
Mid-hole? No way. They're not like lift clean
Yeah,
and
because you
placing.
can't like change your lie.
They
Yeah,
could
true.
probably change
We'll
throughout
have to
from
look
hole
this
to
up
hole.
here.
From hole 1, they can use a tailor-made. Hole
Maybe
2,
if
they
you
can use a
mark it
Titleist.
on the green, you can change it. We'll do some Googling. Yeah, you couldn't change it mid-hole. That wouldn't make any sense.
No, imagine. What are they going to stand over the guy if he has
Dropping
like a
it down.
bad lie? You're going to put him just like in.
That'd be incredible.
Let me get my TP5 in there.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no way, dude.
Dude, part of me when I was watching some of this Ryder Cup highlights from 2 years ago was we've done so much scramble format that I was like expecting the next guy to drop a ball next to his and like try the same shot again.
Yeah.
It's like imagine how insane that would be in the Ryder Cup.
Oh my
format.
God, they would. Yeah. that
Already,
would-
yeah, I'm an idiot, so
That's okay.
just cut that one out of there.
No, no, that's
Perfect.
staying in
Yeah,
there.
that
People
in.
make
I've said a lot of
mistakes.
stupid shit.
I made tons of mistakes. So what's the rule?
Yeah, they can switch after the holes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold
so
on.
they don't have to use the whole ball the whole time?
So hole 1, you could use your ball. Hole 2, you can use my ball.
Really?
Hand up, hand up.
You got to think they're going to pick one golf ball.
I
though.
agree with that. I
They
think
are
they gotta
so
pick a
dialed
ball.
into their golf balls and like how they fly that they're just probably practicing. They're having conversation.
Keegan was saying in his press conference yesterday that the single most important data point for who you pair people with is the golf ball that they use.
Wow.
And somebody did a follow-up question. He was like, yeah, the only piece of equipment that we consider the most important piece of equipment we choose as a professional golfer is the golf ball because it's the only piece of equipment you use on every shot.
Wow.
He's like, even if you think your putter is the most important club in your bag, you only use it on 30% of the shots or whatever it is. He was like, your golf ball you use on every single shot. So
Also, yeah, it just shows
You
how
wanna-
precise they are.
You also want to combine, team Titleist guys and team TaylorMade guys for that specific reason.
yeah, and like I think if you use the most spinny Titleist ball and the most spinny TaylorMade ball, I think you're almost like more compatible than if you use a TaylorMade ball, but the other guy uses a Titleist, but he uses like the harder one.
Yeah, or even like TP5X to TP5.
Right.
Even if you both use TaylorMade, if one guy has the driving ball and the other guy has like the wedge ball, that's a huge difference.
Huge. And so yeah, I think like it's all about how spinny you use, and so then I heard they were talking about on the coverage last night, Paul McGinley and Brandel were going in about like the max fly ball that Ben Griffin uses. And we're like, does anybody else use anything close to that? Like, what is it? You know what I
Right.
mean? And they're like going into the characteristics of the ball.
Wow.
So they got to factor all that in, which is like, which is an amazing, piece of data to have to consider before you can even put somebody together from a personality standpoint, from
100%.
all of that. It's like you have to know what kind of golf ball they use. So there's a lot that goes into it. And it's, we're about to put out a lot of footage of like the Ryder Cup, which people loved, by the way. Thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.
What a victory, by the way.
Incredible.
Big victory.
Let's
Huge
go, boys.
victory.
Good job.
Massive victory. We have an $80,000 bet to place now.
Yeah.
Wow, what a DraftKings bet slip that's going to be. Yeah, so we won the 80,000. And how many guys were on the team?
8.
8.
Eight.
So it's $10,000 a guy, and we are wagering it.
We got to figure out what bet we want to place.
We can pick a favorite up to minus 200. We cannot surpass that, so we can't pick like.
We're not going this weekend.
No.
We have, I believe, pushed it past this weekend because we want to focus on the Ryder Cup. I can't fathom having 80 grand on something. And I get, as the captain, I get the final say. So it's like really, even though we're making a team decision, it'll be King Arthur's round table. But it's still going to feel like it's my call on 80 grand of which way to go with that. I can't have that hanging over my head while I'm trying to root for fucking Ben Griffin to make a putt after Bryson just drove the green. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to. None of us can handle that.
I agree.
None of us can handle that.
Would make it one hell of a Ryder Cup, though.
Ooh.
I'll say if US is getting like killed, you might see me rally the guys and be like, we got to pick an $80,000 bet right now because we need some juice.
Oh,
But yeah, great
good win.
performance out of our team. We were a strong four-play contingent on our team, and we get a lot of shit as the golf guys as being like shitty. I thought you guys were the golf guys. You played that well. At least intra-company, I thought that the guys that do the golf content proved to be victorious in the golf matches.
big time.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the teams, there was one team that just has all the golf guys on it, and those guys all won. Not to say the other people don't golf, but I mean, we had Francis, we had
All of
Jerry,
us.
all the guys, all of us that we all do the golf videos on a pretty daily basis, and we just like won the tournament.
And Dave played great. I saw it in
Oh,
the
man.
Dave played better than I did. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude, he was-
I sucked in it, so like I felt great to win that thing. I think I went like 1-2. Yeah, I mean, Dave just played unbelievable.
Dave and I were in the cart together in the singles, and Dave came over to me after he had some balls in the range. I hadn't seen him yet that morning, and he just had a little smirk on his face. And I just was like, "What?" He's like, "I don't want to jinx anything, but I think I found something on the
That's
range."
amazing.
And I said, "All right, we'll see." And then he striped one of the first
Yeah.
hole, hit the fucking green, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is sick!" And then just played great. I think he was beating Whitney almost straight up.
Well, that happened to me last Ryder Cup. I was on the range with Dave. I was facing him. I was on the other team, and he was hitting these like 56-degree wedges, and he's like just kind of hitting them. I'm like, Dave, you're hitting those pretty good, because anytime I'm around Dave, it's like I'm on my toes, as I like to say. So I'm like trying to give him, as much, good vibes as I possibly can. He was hitting these wedges great, and I'm like, and I remember lasering how far they were going, and I'm like, Dave, you're pretty consistent. I'm like, if you're 72 yards away, like, you just swing exactly like that, and you're just going to hit it right into the middle, like, exactly where you want to. And then we played him in the match, and he was hitting 72-yard perfect wedge shots on the stick the whole entire time.
Yep.
I
So, like,
remember
he's
that.
the kind of guy that, like, he doesn't play a lot of golf, and he's not very good because he doesn't play that often. But if you give him something to work on, just like any athlete that's like, oh, like, just work on this, he actually can do it. Like, he
Yes.
has game in there. If
He
he
does.
played, if he cared about the game and, like, actually wanted to play it, like, a ton, he'd actually be a really solid player.
Yeah.
I've seen enough from him to say that.
Yeah, and then when we were at the Internet Invitational, and he like brought his clubs and was like, "Oh yeah, can
They
you
played one morning.
can you
Yeah.
see if they can get me a tee time?" And I was like, "Why?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I kind of want to play since I played so well last time we were out." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Do you have the golf bug?" He's
I
like,
know.
"No, but maybe." I was like, "That's
He's not going
unbelievable."
to spend 5 hours like
No.
doing something that's unproductive.
Right.
And if
No.
he is, he'd rather just be in like his house with his dogs.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, he's not golfing.
I think
But
that's
anytime
right.
he wants to be in a foreplay video, he can. You
That'd
know?
be great.
Anytime,
Join up.
literally anytime. It's funny. Him and his grudge match against Jerry have a ton of views when they did that
Oh,
2 years
yeah.
ago during the Ryder Cup.
Tons.
Just a
Incredible.
hilarious amount of views. So yeah,
Yeah.
anytime Dave wants to do it. But great performance, and our team now is congregating to discuss this $80,000 bet. So if people, we'll definitely take recommendations. If somebody sees something on the slate in a
Yep.
week or so that you think, look, the 10 grand has been won, but we cannot acquire it or own it until it has been through the wash of being bet.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so we're not against finding the most lock win that we can that has very little return up to minus 200, and we could turn if our 10 grand gets turned into only $15,000 in $1, which is like, it feels like the minimum that we could.
Yeah.
Totally fine by me.
Right. Like we could obviously go nuts and bet a plus 300 craziness, but we're not going to do that. I want as locked down as a minus 200 as we can get.
Because even those aren't locked down, especially in the NFL, dude.
Minus 200, no.
Minus 190 teams lose all the time.
All the
think
time.
about
All
what the
the
Eagles
time.
had to do just to cover the other day. They had
All
to
the
block
time.
a field goal and run it back with 0 seconds left just to cover minus 3.5.
No, it's going to be there's a
It's gonna be
reason
a
it's at
nightmare,
200.
dude.
It's going to be a stressful
What
day.
if we put like 80 grand on the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl?
Oh my god.
Right. What's
Dude,
that at right
there
now?
is the argument to be made that like we're getting a free $80,000 bet. You're like you should like take a gamble on it. It's like you're risking
Oh, here
zero.
we go. Here we
You're
go.
risking zero of your own dollars. I know,
I
that
know, but you
earned
want it, you know?
True, but like I don't know. Who are you, like Patrick Cantlay? You like want, you know?
I'm trying to look
Whoa.
up Super Bowl odds. Ryan Richard, go ahead.
You could go an ace in the baseball playoffs. I feel like that could be a pretty safe bet.
I don't know, man. Like Garrett Cole gets lit up all the time for the Yankees. Like it could easily happen.
You know, yeah. I would
The Bu-
also be cautious with tips, just because like you could end up the brunt of some angry people.
Yeah, no, you don't want to.
If something comes from that, I only know that as a guy that has witnessed Barstool Sports for
Oh,
10
yeah.
years, where it's like you can be on someone's bad side for 5 years
Yeah.
if something goes wrong.
The Buffalo Bills are plus 400 to win the Super Bowl.
That's not enough.
No, I'm not doing
You know, if that was like 9-1 or something, I would consider doing that. You kind of like that.
I mean, I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, so.
It'd be fun to be on the right side of
that.
that.
Dude. I don't know why I want.
Guys, let's just pick a game in week 4. Let's
No,
bring
I
it all
know.
down a little bit here.
Dude,
pick a game
there's a
week
part
4.
of me, and I know we said that we wouldn't, but and I don't know why I'm changing right now on the show, but there's a part
Classic
of me that wants
you,
to
by the
go
way.
on USA minus 150. It would
What?
be the most memorable Ryder Cup of our freaking lives. Bethpage, we're watching it. We're there. Imagine we won 80 grand. We would be going nuts on Sunday. That's the craziest thing of all time, dude. Let's just fucking root for our guys. If they lose, it's a disaster. If they lose at Bethpage, it's a goddamn disaster.
You're almost making the argument to hedge your happiness.
I don't want to hedge my happiness. I
Okay.
want to bet on the United States of America. There's part of me being like, dude, that's
We
Sunday.
just started the show. They shouldn't be minus 150.
I know.
I did 20
I
minutes
know,
on
I know. But dude, I'm just saying, like, we're gonna be on property on Sunday. Imagine watching this Ryder Cup with $80,000 on the line for our whole entire crew. God damn, that
is-
gets me fired.
I
up.
don't.
I wake up Sunday morning with puke in my mouth.
I vote no. I'm voting no.
Oh,
I'm voting no. I just.
dude, if they
because
lose,
I
it's a
don't.
disaster. Regardless,
You're
of the
adding
money.
to it.
Yeah, but like it is what it is.
No,
it was
no,
the
no.
Ryder Cup. We're betting on the Ryder Cup.
No, no,
lock
no.
it in, dude.
No, no, no,
lock it the
no,
fuck
no.
in.
That's like,
man.
what if we put 80 grand on the Islanders to make the playoffs?
Oh my
So-
god! I mean, like, yeah, you're just adding way more misery
You're
to
adding
my life.
so much misery. I'd at least, if we lose the Ryder Cup, I can at least think, all right, well, at least at some point, Josh Allen's going to carry me to 20 grand.
What if I sneakily just didn't tell anybody and I told Dave put 80 grand on Europe to win the Ryder Cup?
Oh my god!
I think, like-
And then everybody's devastated on Sunday, and I'm like, guess what?
We just won $30,000
We all
each.
did.
You actually get to leave
I
here with 30
can't-
bands.
I legit,
Dude,
I
USA
like,
winning and us winning 15 G's is nuts. Like the most nuts you could like. That is such a good Sunday.
it's the worst Sunday ever if they lose, and we're all,
It's
On the
already
fence.
gonna be, man. Like, you know, this is our world. Like, we need to win this thing, man.
I will say the money's not already in your bank account.
It's
so
not.
It's not like it's
not your money.
You didn't ever
Yeah, but
feel
then you
it.
should take a risk, like a big risk
right,
with it.
right.
Plus 180, 200.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Like,
That's nuts.
The Blackhawks winning the
I also
Stanley
need
Cup.
something. I don't need something that happens this weekend, but I need something sooner.
Yeah.
yeah.
I need USA.
I can't
Yeah.
do USA because that's too soon. And
Why? They're
well, it's not even about the time.
they
It's
should
about
win. They should win.
What if we did something a little bit more? Yeah, I guess the whole.
bro. I can just see. I'm gonna be. If we do this, I can just see Rory smiling at the winners' press conference,
And you know
and I'm
what?
like, we lost, and I lost 10 grand, and
The
I
story
just-
we see him at Taylor Made Media Day. We're like, you freaking ripped our throats out, man.
I don't
ripped our throats out. Tommy Fleetwood would call, you'd FaceTime you and be like,
no.
Thanks for those
Tommy
$80,000.
Fluid would end his match on 18 and FaceTime Trent be like, ha 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 ha.
I don't like
Thought you were
it.
gonna get 15
I
grand.
can't
think
take a
again,
year-
Trent.
I can't take a European win and a
We don't get
$10,000
paid, and
loss.
neither does Trent because we beat you guys.
Yep. Oh, look, yeah. See, we could just forego it.
They're just, yeah.
We'll have to talk about it.
I almost would have been more comfortable doing it in Rome for Team USA.
I know,
Like,
but
you
I
know,
know.
that team.
But-
Oh yeah, I remember I almost put a lot of money
yeah,
on Team
because I remember
USA.
too. They were all like fractured from live. We thought, and they didn't have surge. They
We
couldn't
also
got
got
to
to run this by Francis and
I know. I mean, Hank threw a crazy one in here. He wrote, Hank threw in here Rory McIlroy to get 2 or less points.
that I'm even less comfortable with.
That
hate
one makes
that.
me want to puke.
No bad ideas he wrote in there though, but
No
that
bad
might
ideas.
be that might be one I don't love.
Well, just because like there's no way to even like compute that in your brain.
No,
Like, he could, like the guys he's playing could just play bad. Like you have
Totally.
no idea.
That's
Totally.
way more random. Yeah.
right?
so
You could
random.
you could get unlucky with like a Rory Tommy Fleetwood pairing against 2 guys on our team who were struggling all week. You know, like I'm not going to
Dude.
call anybody out because you have no idea at this point.
Right.
You
Like,
got one life to live, man, and I want to go fast, man. I want to
Then
be at
you're going
Bethpage.
slow though with
I
a
wanna go at
minus
Bethpage.
150.
Why don't you just put 10 grand on USA?
I
then?
might now.
If you want to live fast, you got to bet a plus 200.
No, I mean just like this is where the juice is at, man. It's the Ryder Cup. We got a free bet. We're gonna be there. You want to talk about rooting interest? Like, sure, I want the USA to win. God, do I want them to win and win me 15 grand? God, do I want them to win and win me 15 grand? I will be going nuts for every single putt, and I think I will still be like, but I mean, I don't know. It's like, yeah, USA won, USA lost.
Oh no,
They
we'll
don't
be
care.
going
They
nuts
wanna
if they
fire-
win regardless. This is a big one.
I know. Imagine 80 grand on it.
I don't like it.
Oh God.
God, dude, the minus 150 is devastating. If it was like a pick'em, I would be much more into it.
If it was minus 110, you taking it?
Yeah,
But
I'd be
doesn't
more
that
inclined.
tell you someone somewhere knows that like the analytics are just going to show that like we definitely are favored? Like we have way better players than them.
I don't know about
That's
that.
what they say, or that's what they're saying.
I think it's
Is
based
this
on
a trap
location.
game? What does Vegas
Based
know?
on yeah.
I also
What
just
does
like
Vegas know?
like if I'm every football game I bet on, I know that everyone knows more than I do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know the most about golf, but
Sure.
if there's one thing that I would feel like I know something about,
Yeah.
it's like it's this, and that
Yeah.
just doesn't seem right to me.
I know.
I'm with
All
it.
right. Well,
I'm
I'm going
with
to toss it in that chat regardless.
I
think it's already in there, isn't it?
I'm going to get the people going.
Frankie wants to get it going.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Did you guys see the Euros with VR headsets simulating the conditions at Bethpage Black?
No.
Yeah, they played golf. Rory said that they played golf last week, maybe with VR headsets on that simulate the crowd at Bethpage
Yeah.
Black, and they could like plug in whatever they wanted, like the crowd like chirping your white, like whatever.
Yeah. Wow. They're really going next level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hank wrote he wishes America was a little juicier than the minus 150. So,
Yeah.
like, he's already on the side of like.
I get the juice part of it, of like this is it. We did the Ryder Cup. This is the Ryder Cup. This is like what we do. We're rooting for them.
We're putting everything that we have on this one. We're going all in. Bethpage Black. We're throwing it on black.
I guess that's unfortunately a testament to like I don't know that like I'm that confident in that.
I know. No, this is very, very.
Yeah, because I would
This
definitely.
is very telling on how we actually.
Oh
feel.
yeah,
Yeah, it
we've
is.
been kind of saying that for
Definitely.
weeks, dude. We've been like, we don't like these odds. at all.
Definitely what it is. This is we got to like the core of it, which
For
we've
sure.
been talking about. But yeah, I don't know a ton of American fans out there that would be like, yeah, I would put 10 grand on US right now.
You're right.
Like I just don't. Europe's pretty fucking good.
And they're like calm and cool, and they're hugging each other's
Hugging
necks.
his fucking neck, hugging.
All right.
It's a good team. What else do I got on here? What else do we got on here? Ian Poulter was shitting on American golf fans. You see that clip?
No, I didn't, but it's just like, who cares?
All he said was there could be a 600-yard par 5, and you hit your tee ball, and somebody's going, get in the hole.
Oh,
He's
real,
like, well,
real
clearly-
original Ian
He
Poulter.
basically
Clearly
did
they're
the
not gonna
whole
get in the
thing is
hole.
lame. Is basically.
Oh
what he said.
wow!
He
Thanks
said,
for that.
"Oh, we get
Thanks
some
for that
mashed potatoes."
2011 take, Ian Poulter.
This episode is brought to you by Brex. Are any finance folks listening? Well, we found something you'll love as much as the excitement of golf's major championships and events. Meet Brex, B-R-E-X. It's an intelligent, finance platform built to give you both control and speed with a corporate card, banking, expenses, and travel all in one place. Brex ensures that the best companies can manage company spend, automate expenses, and get every dollar to the right place. Earn the trust of 30,000 companies, from the fastest growing AI startups, global enterprises, and in fact, we are proud Brex users right here at Barstool Sports.
I'm a huge Brex guy. The app is so easy to use. It has changed my expensing life. I get a coffee when I'm on a trip, or I take an Uber, I do anything, and I just take a picture of the receipt. It uploads everything pretty much by itself. You got to hit a couple of options, and then boom, your money's coming right back to you. They approve it, goes right into my bank account. I can't speak highly enough about Brex and the seamlessness of their app.
It's true, man. It's so nice to submit expenses now. It used to be an absolute pain. Now it's so easy. You take a picture, it fills out almost all of it for you. Brex, it just makes all different aspects of the old finance that much easier. You can learn a lot more at brex.com/grow. Once again, go check it out and learn more at brex.com/grow.
Borrelli's live show tonight. I saw the
Yeah.
Junior Ryder Cup is going on at Nassau Country Club,
Yeah, it's right down the road.
where they
You want me
started
to tell
the
you the update on that
Nassau.
one?
The what?
You want me to tell you the update on that?
Sure.
I have it up here.
All right.
The next.
Right now there are 3 matches that the USA is winning, and there's 3 matches that the Europeans are
All
winning.
right. It's a great little club, Nassau Country Club, home of the Nassau.
Makes sense.
Front back total.
That's that does check out.
Yep. There
I
was
love
like a whole story about there was only a couple of country clubs that were around in this area way back. It's like one of the first ones on Long Island. They actually built a train that goes right to Nassau Country Club from Manhattan. So like the Rockefellers of the world could get from Manhattan out to this country club. And when they would have these matches against other places like in Jersey or near the city or wherever, and they wanted to say like how they won, or like there was a story about like how they wanted to put it in the paper. So they basically called it the Nassau. They won the front, the back, the total. They got 3 points, whatever it was. So that's just how it kind of, that's my interpretation of the story. I don't really know.
Got to be the most
nitty-gritty of
classic
it.
golf format ever invented.
Yeah,
USA is up
20,
6.5
40. No problem.
to
Right.
5.5 in the Junior Ryder Cup as well.
All right.
Weather could be some sort of issue.
Yeah,
I think today when this podcast comes out is real dicey.
Supposed to storm.
it's gonna be your washout for sure. It's
Yeah?
gonna be a washout. Yeah,
Dude, the Ryder Cup really, it's almost a miracle that the Ryder Cup weather isn't a bigger factor more frequently, because they have a tight window.
Yeah.
It's late in the year, so the sun is just not up that long, and they have to play 36 holes a day, and that just doesn't happen any other time of the year. And they got to get it done, And I was looking, I think the last Monday finish was 2010, maybe.
Okay.
So for it to have been 15 years where that tight window didn't really get messed up feels kind of miraculous to me. And I started to panic because I know out here on Long Island, Frankie's been talking about it. You guys have been talking about it. We experienced it last week. The weather's been amazing for weeks and weeks.
incredible.
Weather's been insane. And then I saw Friday last week when I looked at it for the first time, I saw a bunch of rain on the second half of this week. And I was like, no. But the latest I looked at, and this shit's never right, who knows? But it said it was going to stop raining by early Friday morning. Is kind of the plan.
I think it should be okay.
3
Okay.
or 4 or
I
5
think
in the
tomorrow's
morning.
gonna dump. I think Friday morning's gonna stop. Maybe it'll push them back to instead of a 7 a.m., maybe a 9 a.m. thing, if I had to guess, just to get the course ready. And then we're off. Saturday looks good. Sunday has 45% chance of rain, but that's not until 5 or 6 o'clock.
I think we're in great shape.
Okay.
What time are those singles matches start on Sunday?
Noon.
But
Okay.
dude, isn't the first session on Friday super early?
7 a.m.
Yeah,
a.m.
7 a.m.
That's crazy.
7:10.
Yeah,
That's
they got
about
to. They
right.
got to
You
get
think,
it in.
Everyone, yeah,
There's been a
true.
lot of public transit. Just think about that. People are going to be coming on the train at 2
4
a.m.
2 a.m. Do
Just
you
to
think
get out here?
you think the president's gonna be coming out here for that?
He said he's
Or
going to
the-
be here on Friday.
I think
Yeah,
he'll
but,
be here
like, you
for the
think the-
afternoon.
That's what I was saying. There's no way he's gonna be out there 7 a.m.
No.
It's dark.
Nobody's. I mean, people are obviously out there, but once the day gets going, that's when people start showing
I'm
up.
trying to think back to past ones. Yeah, the celebrities and the big names all show up. I feel later on
I feel
in
like
the day.
most people aren't. Yeah, most celebrities aren't gonna be there at 7 a.m.
When they do the first tee in the afternoon
Yes.
scene, maybe
could totally
47
see
will
that.
be there for that.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I would say he'd
security's
be
gonna be
there
a
in the
nightmare.
morning compared to the afternoon.
Think
because
so?
As it should be.
Because it's going to be, it's the opening tee ball compared to the second, and it should be easier potentially with less people probably. More people are probably going to go to the afternoon matches than the morning matches.
Yeah.
Think about if I gave you the option to wake up at 10:30 or I gave you the option to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think people want to be there for that first tee. I think
I
it's
think they're
gonna
both
be a
gonna be
scene.
It'll be
jam-packed.
packed, dude. We went to the
It's gonna be
first
jammed.
tee in Wisconsin. Trent and I ran, and we
Oh.
got there at like 2:30 in the morning.
It was
We
so
didn't
much
even get like
further
the
than I
first
thought.
seats. I mean, it was crazy.
So much
Sat there for
further.
like 5 hours until the first tee balls were hit.
We were there for the Bryson shot.
Yep.
Bryson T-ball.
Wielded his driver like a sword.
Then you had to change your shorts after that.
Yeah,
You
of
said,
course, dude.
I'll
What
take a new
did
pair
we
of
went
shorts.
nuts? Imagine we had 10 grand on that. We we would go nuts.
Bryson
We'd
Eagle
cry.
the first.
What do you guys think before we
might as well
before we
take it.
log off here? What do you guys think about these outfits that everyone wore to that castle on the North Shore last night?
I saw
Captain
U.S.
Cons, our guy Captain Cons going viral. He's loving it.
He is loving it. I
Every
can see
account.
that.
Do you like that?
Golf, foreplay. Oh no, he hated it.
Oh,
He thought the U.S. guys should
Captain
have worn
Cons.
ties and
Captain
should have
Cons. The U.S. not wearing ties and wearing sneakers looks incredibly sloppy. Have some pride. This is the largest stage to represent your country in the game of golf. We went a little too far with the quote, let's all be comfortable direction. Wearing a tie and dress shoes isn't asking too much. Maybe it was how I was raised or my time in the military,
Oh.
but I believe this stage
Probably
demands
played
more.
the military card.
Look sharp, play sharp. So, I mean, it is funny. It's like in the group photo from the drone, all you see are like beautifully white sneakers. So, like, I do see how that stands out, but I think they look okay. I mean, I understand the casualness to it. They still got nice suits on. The only guy there's a couple guys don't have their pocket squares in, which is Scotty Scheffler. It looks like it's just him, really. Unless his is
I think it's just
hiding.
pushed down. I think it's pushed down.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I thought they looked pretty good, and
I
I
think they look good.
You know, Cons is he's a big he's a fashion guy.
Oh yeah,
He
there's
likes
a
to dress
tweet-
up.
There's a
Yep.
tweet from him earlier in the year, I guess. Where he's, it was earlier that day. Yeah, it's talking about guys in ESPN wearing sneakers with their suits. A horrible look.
Yeah, he's on a big kick against the sneakers with suits thing right now.
I guess so.
That's
Yeah.
a hell of a location. I didn't even know where that was. That they had that gala.
I didn't know. It looked awesome.
It's a mansion in Sands Point, right up there by the Sands Point Golf Club. We played up at the Sands
We
Point.
did, yeah.
I thought that the Europeans looked great.
They did look good.
Mhm.
I see what he's saying. You can't go wrong with just a classy suit, tie, nice dress
No.
shoes. That's been that's been working for a long time.
There had to be a reason that they were just like, and I said it again, a couple of handsome faces on Wake Up Barstool. If they all did it together, I don't care.
Yeah, if one guy shows up with the sneakers and,
Oh,
and the
dude,
no tie,
that's
it's like,
a
if Bryson
nightmare.
does. It's like, God.
They're all doing everything. If they showed up shirtless together, I'm like, this
Yeah.
rules. This
It's a
rules.
little bit. We're probably gonna miss some fashion stuff from the opening ceremony.
Yeah, that's
gonna
where,
happen tonight.
The Bryson Brooks sunglasses picture came from.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Some of that stuff probably going to occur after we record this podcast.
Oh,
The next podcast that we record, we will know the result of the Ryder Cup.
exciting.
Maybe we won 15 grand
Maybe.
each guy.
Maybe we're still sitting at 10,
Maybe.
looking for something,
Could be.
looking for an opportunity.
We got to decide.
I'm throwing cash on USA regardless. I might not throw 10 grand on it because the other one's a free bet. But yeah, I'm throwing some. I'll throw it up. Yeah, I'll throw a rack on them.
Nice.
Rack 'em rack.
Do you think if Team USA, so I have 2 flights booked because we got Barstool Classic Monday and Tuesday at Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
I got a flight booked for Sunday morning to just get down to Pinehurst and then be able to watch all of the golf
Mm-hmm.
and do our podcast. I have another flight booked for like 5 a.m. Monday morning that will get me to Tobacco Road in time for the event. Do you think that if the Team USA wins, that the fellas could find our way into the party?
I think it might be at Stu Finer's house or something. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like that would be a yes.
Yeah. Well, he wrote that like that's where the Sunday celebration festivities are going to be held. He tweeted it. So
I think there'll be a celebration there. It just depends on if the players are there.
I mean, hopefully if they win, we'll have. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have a nice cold pop with somebody, whether it be Joey LaCava or someone. I'm finding somebody to have a drink with.
You're fine tracking
I'm finding
somebody down.
I'll go to Garden. I'll go anywhere. Right?
That's a good point.
Garden City Hotel. I know the owner.
There's
Just saying.
somewhere where that Ryder Cup's going to be. Do you think we could find our way to where that Ryder Cup's going
think
to be
so.
and drink out of it?
I think
or
so.
drink near it?
I
really
think so.
close to it.
Out of all the Ryder Cups, this one feels like one, right? Because wherever they are, whatever restaurant it might be or whatever, like I should be able to find the connection somewhere. I
We
know
just
a
got to
lot of
hope that
people-
Bryson hasn't listened to the last 2 podcasts.
Yeah, but I think we kind of defended him on this.
We
one.
did on this one, yeah.
Hopefully,
Let's
listen
get
to
those clips right.
Yeah,
Clips are going to be
this is a
huge for us.
defending Bryson podcast.
This is get the clips right.
We want them to win. That's why I think we should put, of
course.
80 grand on
Definitely.
them.
Wow.
There's no way to say we want you to win more than throwing 80 G's on you. That's my last
I
point.
want them to win. Again, the last month of this podcast has been like, can you believe how bad that number is on the DraftKings Sportsbook? That makes me nervous. That's all.
That would just be giving so much props to the house on how, like, that would be like why the casinos have such nice chandeliers. That is why.
Yeah.
It's like
Glistening
we're
chandeliers.
sitting there being like, this line's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's make the biggest wager we've ever made on it. Well, we've done 7 straight shows about how ridiculous the line is, and we're like, it's fair. Let's do it. Let's go USA, man.
Yeah.
This viewing is insane. The TV part, like, we're gonna be there, but also the TV part of it is great when they're jumping around from match to match.
So good.
I don't know who's the first person that's gonna put their putter down because they didn't get a gimme given to them.
Love
Who's gonna
that.
be jeering with the crowd? Who's it's
Yeah.
like all that is coming. Is there gonna be another car park incident or something like it? It's just all of it's about to happen.
I can't wait to be on property and you start to you look at all the jumbotrons and all the huge screens and you see what's going on out there on the course. The crowd starts to get crazy. That's the best part about being on property for these big events. The Masters is obviously number one, where like they don't have the screens and they just put the name of the player up and how he did on the last hole.
Yep.
That always happens with Tiger roars, and they're sitting around 18. They see Tiger go from 9 to 1, and everyone's going nuts. I'm very excited to be there for that, where it's like I'm gonna have my buddies there. We're gonna be having a couple of drinks. You look around, oh my God, Scotty's up 4 and he's on 7. It's like, oh my, like they're gonna be coming through here. Let's go watch him on 10. It's the best. It's such a thrill. It's such a rush.
I can't fucking wait.
We'll see you at Borrelli's. Come all weekend. I'll be there all weekend.
I'm gonna be there at least a few different nights.
Yep.
With the parents.
Yep.
They're going to their first Ryder Cup.
Nice.
They've never been, so pumped for that. And if you're out there, hit the tent. We heard the merchandise has been doing great.
Like
said it's been
5 or 6 rebuys.
oh,
They're like restocking everything in.
it's phenomenal
Oh,
news. It's been
insane.
packed in there. So make sure you hit the fan shop, the merchandise tent. Check out our section. It's got the Barstool Golf, the logo, and then say hi if you're out there. We're gonna be buzzing all over the place. Golf all day, the entire day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So let's go Team USA. Thank you for listening. Sunday night, we're gonna do a show right afterwards Sunday, and probably try to get this up Sunday night or Monday morning.
Yeah.
So just a little scheduling, appointment there is that we will do a knee-jerk reaction podcast and get that up as soon as we can after the Ryder Cup. So see you then. Good luck to Team USA. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
It's hard.